Welcome back. Now let's talk some money, and I mean some
more money.
Big money.
No, the trade fair is big money too. We're just talking more money.
We're just talking money today, and we're talking about the $85 million recovered from the Malibu restrained funds in the United Kingdom. $85 million. Which road can that one build?
Plenty. Plenty, if it will be used well.
Okay, all right. Yes, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, spoke in Abuja at the Pre-Global Forum on Asset Recovery and consultative meeting with the theme, Building an Enduring Framework for Asset Recovery in Nigeria. Well, he's also looking to discuss another $320 million recovered from the family of former head of state Sani Abacha, this with the government of Switzerland. Now, to look at these recoveries with us this morning, it's my pleasure to welcome an anti-corruption analyst, Mr. Simeon Igbinedion.
Dr. Simeon Igbinedion.
Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, Doc. We also have a legal practitioner, Dr. Malaki Ogumadu.
Wow. Malaki Ogumadu, not doctor.
Okay, sorry. I didn't want to make the same mistake, you see. I'm sorry.
I'm not particular about those appellations.
And then joining us from Abuja, we have a journalist, Mr. Sam Ogundikwe. Good morning, Mr. Ogundikwe.
Good morning.
Good of you to join us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, let me start with my friend here who has, well, he's been AWOL for some time now, Malaki. You're welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, this $85 million we're talking about that was recovered from the UK, what do you make of it? Do you think the money has actually been handed over to us yet?
Well, if it wasn't, I think the Honorable Attorney General of Justice would have made those categorical statements. And I think he needed to appropriate that moment as a high point of the efforts they've been making. That recovery was made and the whole world needed to hear about it, just so that people will continue with the vestige of believing that the anti-corruption war is not just on, but that efforts have been made to recover. But, you know, it's a mixed bag in the sense that it's taken about 2 years in which a government that rose to power on the crest of their avowed determination, not just to fight corruption, but to recover looted funds. 2 years down the line, we are just been told about $85 million in relation to the staggering amount involved in that very unholy deal now, one that has been characterized as such in other jurisdictions where issues of justice delivery take a more faster pace. Now, but to the extent that the process has started, is commendable, cautiously so. To the extent that the issues are still, in the front burner, because quite a number of Nigerians, I imagine, may have forgotten about the Malabu story, particularly when you have incidents and reoccurrence of so many other scams, ranging from the pension scam to all manner of scam everywhere and every day. So it is for those reasons that I say it's a mixed bag. One, that the issue of recovery has found itself back to the front burner, but that it has taken 2 years and too little in relation to the Malabu global experience. And if other jurisdictions have dealt with that issue more conclusively in terms of prosecution and conviction, it's left to be seen how far that the government of Nigeria wishes to go.
Okay. When we come back, I'll ask you about since we have some prosecutorial relationships with some of these countries that have been decisive about this, how is it that we're not using that? But Dr. Igbinedion, you're an anti-corruption analyst. So analyze the situation, the anti-corruption war in Nigeria now. What's your take?
Well, The anti-corruption war in Nigeria appears to be on, but it is not on the way it ought to be. Because as I speak now, corruption is still rife. And there are so many persons, public officials in high offices, personalizing the assets of the state. And the war appears not to be transparent anymore. Of course, we've heard of the Marina gates. There are so many gates. We have them. I think the anti-corruption war it revolves around individuals, and it ought not to be. We need institutions to propel the anti-corruption war. We are not seeing that now.
Okay, I like you appear to be choosing your words carefully. You used a phrase like appropriating state assets. You used another word, another phrase, not transparent.
Yeah.
You used the word appears.
Yeah.
Why do you choose this particular word? Let me give you the order you used it. Appears.
Yeah.
Appropriating state assets, not transparent.
Yeah.
Why those choice of words?
Because of what I'm saying. And everybody sees it. That the war, I will repeat it, appears to be on. The government officials will tell you the war is on. But I think the war is on in some sense, but it is not on the way Nigerians...
It's not a war.
It is not. I don't see a war there.
Should it be a war being waged by government alone? Where's the citizen in all of this?
Not really. Citizens can come in, all right? Of course, you have a private-based corruption, you have a public sector corruption, but we focus on public sector corruption because the money belongs to everybody. And of course, high-profile public officials have been entrusted to be in certain positions to make sure that our assets are safe. And that is why the focus appears to be on public sector corruption. But of course, the private individuals in companies, in private companies, they have a role to play as well.
Okay.
Let me go to Mr. Gundikwa in Abuja. Now, we're talking about the Malabu loot, and I just remembered that we need to remind our viewers about the background to this. So can you just give us a brief background to how this loot came about?
Oh, absolutely. The Malabu deal actually started in 1998, under the late Sani Abacha's regime, and Dan Etete happened to be the minister, of petroleum at the time, and he awarded an oil lease, the OPL oil prospecting lease, 245, in the offshore of Nigerian waters, and he approved the contract, and government received a signature bonus of a paltry, what in hindsight is now considered to be a paltry $20 million for signature bonus for such a massive reserve of oil, crude oil, considered to, it's estimated to hold more than 9 billion barrels of oil reserve. So that was in 1998. And of course, the deal was not good to the government of Olusegun Obasanjo when he came in. So in 2001, he decided to revoke the deal, altogether, and said, look, this deal was not properly done. Dan Etete had awarded that oil lease to a firm that was later linked to him using a fictitious name of Kweku Amafega. That name turned out to be Mr. Etete himself, just disguising to own shares about more than 30% of the about 40% thereabouts of the Malabu oil firm itself. That the contract was, the oil lease was given to in 1998. So when Obasanjo revoked the contract in 2001, Shell, it was given to Shell and AG